Hi, my name is Nathan Hartman, and I'll spend a few minutes talking about the profession of human resource management. For students pursuing a management degree, it's often important to consider the different roles we could hold with the training we've received in management. So, human resource management is often a topic that we study in a management degree, in part because there are jobs in this profession that are easily attainable by students after graduation from college. So, for any general management student, jobs with the term recruiter or HR selection and recruitment would be viable options for students in the management program. Students with specialized HR electives could also apply for many of the entry-level jobs that are available to human resource management professionals. So, for example, recruitment, selection, benefits analyst, and HR generalist are the types of jobs that we might pursue soon after graduating from college. Internship options in human resource management are also quite prevalent. So when we're thinking in terms of management, we would look at human resource management material and content as an area of consideration for post-college employment. As we're reading through the topics, there can be a wide range of professional options, but the entry level positions tend to be found for college graduates or recent college graduates in the recruitment and selection. If we think in terms of a broader scale, if we're a management student or other sort of business major that will eventually hold the position of manager, it becomes important to know about human resource management as we'll be required to also manage human resources. And so so as a manager, if we're running a team of employees, eventually we'll have to select employees that retire or leave for voluntary reasons. And then we want to make sure that we get the best possible person for the job that's available. And so human resource management is one of the topics that we study and helpful to understand what candidate makes a strong fit for a job, fit for an organization that makes them successful soon after hire. As any manager knows, that every employee needs some training or calibration to help them become a viable option for the organization over a long term. And so other professions that we would see in HR as training and development for the more experienced HR person, but also training and development, employee development are things we would need to know about as a manager leading a team of employees as we see skill differentials between the employee and the job and tasks that are required for them. So to close the gap, we would help employees through training, mentorship, other professional development opportunities to make them a good match for their job over the long term. Employees also usually receive feedback, performance appraisals, and so managers, when they're managing human resources and human resource professionals, also spend time thinking about how we're going to evaluate employee performance, give them feedback, and then use that feedback to develop them in the coming year to help reach the team, department, and organizational goals. A lot of times compensation and benefits are associated with performance evaluation and performance of employees over time, such that employees that are better oriented towards the performance goals of the supervisor and the team receive higher compensation, rewards, benefits, bonuses, promotions, those kinds of things. And those that are not as strongly aligned with the goals of the department or the supervisor at the end of the year would get lesser evaluations, and then those evaluations would be directed towards training development opportunities that would realign the employee with expectations, and in the coming year they would make those adjustments and then have better opportunity to receive the promotions, raises, and incentives that are associated with the performance evaluation process. Compensation is a specific area within HR that we could find employment in as a management student with an HR emphasis or an HR student. But if we're also thinking about employing people, they are concerned with their pay just like we would be as the manager be concerned with our pay. So understanding how to compensate employees in a way that makes them engaged and think of fairness and equity across the team and within the organization is important skills that we need to know with managing human resources. Ways we could research this more, right? So as a student looking for information about human resource management as a professional career option, or as a manager who might need to know about human resource management once we're employed. There's the Society for Human Resource Management, which has a lot of resources for the professional and the interested student. Also, in terms of describing the types of jobs we could get as a human resource management professional, or the types of tasks we might need to be familiar with if we were a manager working with our employees in a human resource management department inside an organization. There's also something called NACE, which is the National Association of Colleges, which provides some information about salaries for students graduating. So we're thinking in terms of pay per profession. NACE is a good place to go to get a sense of what we might be paid as an intern, what are the starting salaries, what kind of perks can we expect to attain if we have a management degree versus an HR degree versus an accounting degree. So a good place to kind of get research, but also giving some sense of the types of resources that a human resource professional might use when they're recruiting and selecting college students. They might go to the same place and get information about what pay expectations are for the coming year. That way they can align their offers to graduating students to make them attractive. So if they were offered the job, they would accept them. And also, most students are familiar with the ONET Online, which is a general resource for occupations, pay, skills, knowledge, abilities that are needed for people that want to work different jobs, but also a resource for human resource professionals who are looking to create job descriptions, way of explaining jobs to applicants, giving the details, but also again thinking about pay and compensation that might be important. So all this is great information and a general quick review for human resource management as a job, but also the importance of managing human resource professionals. So I'd encourage you to look at both the SHRM, NACE, and the ONET Online if you're interested in human resource management as a career option in particular, but also if you're looking in terms of pay and compensation for the jobs that you might apply for after graduating from college. SHRM, NACE, and ONET Online are also great resources to give some transparency to what kind of compensation I can expect 1 year and 5 years after graduation. Thank you and have a great day.